Hey everyone, welcome back to Staying Salty. My name is Chelsea and this week we are talking about ports and PICC lines, IVs, all that fun stuff that goes along with IV medication. Joys.
I got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.
So, if you can't understand me or my voice is all over the place during this video, I apologize already, because if you don't follow me on Instagram or anything, I will just give you a little snippet into what my weekend consisted of. Needless to say, going to the Super Bowl and watching my team win their first ever Super Bowl was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had. Going there with my family and celebrating and all of the emotions during that entire game. I've had to recover from it a little bit, and I think I'm just getting my voice back today. So, but that is not what this video is about. This video is not about the most amazing team in the NFL, or who beat the Patriots finally, or who were the underdogs who were supposed to lose and came back and beat them. Like I said, that's not what this video is about, but all those are great facts, right? This video is about ports, PICCs, IVs, all the fun stuff that goes along with IV medication. So I think I am the only one, I don't think Tara does, but I think I am the only one in this whole group that actually does have a port. So I'll give you my little backstory on my port, why I got it, all that. And there is a video somewhere in this channel about surgeries and things like that, and I talk a little bit about my port placement in that. But essentially, long story short, I had never been sick really my entire life, never needed IVs. It wasn't until I was 18 and I got to college, started getting sicker, needed IVs a lot more frequently as I went through college, and to the point where I eventually just decided to get a port. And the funny thing is about this, that everyone says I was kind of crazy for, I only had 4 PICC lines before I chose to get a port. But this is what makes me a little bit different than most people who have ports. The fact that I only had 4 PICC lines, my veins, they were fine. You could get a PICC line in it fine. Really don't have much trouble with IVs. Getting blood out's fine. My veins aren't scarred at all. And I know Ashley said she prefers IVs. I was never given that option. So I always got PICCs whenever I needed to be put on IVs. But what I started to realize for myself was that I didn't mind going on IV antibiotics. Like the routine and all that, I didn't really mind that much. I got used to it pretty fast, and it's kind of just something you have to squeeze into your schedule. I know we've talked about that before on this channel. So I didn't mind that much. The thing that I started noticing was I would stay sick for an extended period of time, and I would stay sick choosing not to get IV antibiotics, not because of the IV antibiotics, but because I specifically was avoiding getting a PICC line placed, and I was scared to get the PICC line placed. So I realized my aversion to antibiotics and IV antibiotics, and in turn was making me sicker. It wasn't because of the IV antibiotics, it was because of the needles and the PICC. I had a few really bad experiences with PICC placements, not because it was hard to get in, but just some really crappy techs that didn't know what they were doing and didn't walk me through it and didn't help my anxiety one who didn't even numb the site first, and a whole, it gives me like chills thinking about it. But essentially I realized I was putting off going on IV antibiotics when I needed them, and what would have made me better in 2 weeks then took 4 weeks, or even just got sicker, because I just didn't want the PICC line. So to put my mind at ease and to avoid this so that when I did get sick, I could easily get treated, get better, and get back to my life, I chose to get a port placed. And like I said, I only had 4 PICC lines, so it's very different than a lot of people's stories, but that was what the best choice was for me and my body, and that's what worked for me. So I know this is a big topic for a lot of people, and a lot of people feel very strongly one way or very strongly another way, but I'm a big believer in you have to honor your body and what your body's telling you and what you're comfortable with. This is just something that I felt more comfortable with. For some reason, having a port under my skin doesn't freak me out, doesn't really bother me much. At first, the aesthetics of it bothered me a little bit, but the thought of getting a PICC line versus accessing my port way outweighed any negativity towards the port that I had. So it just made my life and getting IVs that much easier for me. The placement was honestly perfect, and I'll just talk about that for a second. Essentially, they gave me twilight sedation, so I was awake, but I was so loopy I didn't even know where I was or anything, and now that it's 5 years later, I don't remember any of it at all, even though I was awake the whole time. I was so loopy and out of it. Supposedly I was talking to the doctors the whole time and didn't feel a thing. So if that's what you're worried about, that was my experience. It didn't hurt whatsoever, and I don't remember it at all, but it was fine. And it was sore for about 2 weeks, and it didn't feel very nice for about 2 weeks, but you have to really think about, they just went under your skin and put this thing in that your body's not used to that. Your body doesn't want that. It didn't like that. So it has to adjust to what just happened to it. And after about 2 weeks, like I can hit it. It doesn't hurt. It's fine. It's like just part of me now, and it's made life so much easier. I will try and not make this video too long, but if you have any questions about ports or anything like that, I'll leave my email down below. You could shoot me an email, or I put my Instagram down below. Shoot me a direct message or anything like that, and I'd love to talk to you about it. But that's my experience. That's why I got a port and 4 wet PICC lines, because I don't like needles. That's what it boils down to. I just don't like needles. And yes, and then some people will say, well, you have to get accessed every month to keep it flushed. And yes, I do have to get accessed every month, but I have a lovely boyfriend, amazing boyfriend, who got trained by a nurse to access me and learned the whole sterile procedure of how to access a port properly. And any caregiver, parent, roommate, friend, anyone around can get trained to do that if your center allows it. And if not, a nurse can just come out to your house and do it, and it takes 20 minutes. It's very, very simple. But if you're wondering, I will put a disclaimer right here, right now. If you don't want to see a needle, don't keep going on this video, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. But I will put at the end of this a video of Nick accessing my port in case you are wondering what it's like or what it looks like, just because everyone who's probably curious is curious as to what that looks like and how it happens. So I'll put that at the end of this video of my lovely boyfriend accessing my port, which he always compares to Pulp Fiction, if anyone knows that movie, where he stabs her in the chest. Yeah, so he likes the fact that he gets to stab me in the chest. Takes a little bit of aggression out. But now I'm just rambling. All right, so that is my spiel with ports versus PICC lines. I have a port, obviously. I love it, like it a lot. Needles don't hurt that bad, it's fine. Super simple to get IVs, and then when I'm done, just take it out, and the dressing changes hurt a whole lot less than when I did port or PICC lines. They don't hurt at all actually with ports. You just kind of rip it off and put a new needle in and you're good. So next I will show you the video of Nick accessing my port, and so check that out if you'd like, and if not, I will see you all next week. So all right, and next week we are talking about when the right time to get put on IVs or talk to your doctor about going on IVs or things like that. So talk about that next week. Go watch a video of my boyfriend stabbing a needle in my chest. Enjoy! Do you want me to move the light? Can you count, please?
Two.
I believe you're in. Pull it back and see. Yeah, just pull back. Sorry, I don't like getting stabbed. Even if it is by you. Yay! I would high five you if I could. Yay! Are you surgeon now? Look at Nick and his wonderful work. Oh, it won't focus. Good job, sweetheart. Do you have anything to say about your lovely work? You still have your mask on?
I'm sterile.
You're still sterile? I hate this dressing though. If anyone has any better dressings than this one, please let me know, because I hate the white part around this, but oh well, it'll work for the next few weeks, I guess. Thanks, sweetheart.
Better than a trip to the hospital.
It's a lot better than a trip to the hospital, that's for sure.